Hello, Pathlings! Welcome to the Yule edition of Planet Pathlings. I am Rayne Poppy, your Thursday host, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about some Yule correspondences. But first, I wanted to have a little chat with you and talk about Yule as I celebrate it and as I see it. So, my very first Yule as a witch, basically, it was actually my very first Yule in a coven, or as part of a coven. Um, I had met the high priestess on Witchvox, and talked to her back and forth, and she had offered for me to come over for their Yule ritual. She said that they're gonna have a Yule slumber party, and then um, the next morning go and have a sunrise Yule ritual. So, of course, I was a little like, but I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. So, basically, what we did was we stayed up all night playing games, coloring, singing Yule carols, decorating cookies, all kinds of fun stuff like that. And then, like around 3 or so in the morning, 2 or 3 in the morning, we took a walk. I think there might have been a Starbucks run. And then just before dawn, we drove up to Newport Beach and had a beautiful sunrise Yule ritual. So it was my very first Yule as a witch, and that I actually celebrated. So yeah, and then um, as far as my personal traditions, like how they are now, I have a really busy schedule. I work, I go to school, so it's my traditions have pared down. One, I don't have access to the beach so much, but I do have access to a lot of nature, so it's kind of nice. So what I like to do is I like to get up and sit for a quiet moment as the sun comes up on Solstice Day, and just give thanks, for being able to experience both the lighter and the darker and the lighter part of the year. And then I like to make a meal that I share with whoever is in the vicinity, my friends, family, whoever's there. And I'll do a small ritual for myself, whether it be just going out and getting in and doing it in nature or doing it at home. And considering how much it's been raining here in Portland, I think I'll be doing it indoors. Let's see here. I don't, as far as celebrating Yule with non-pagan people, I don't really celebrate Yule with like my family and things like that. My mom specifically will wish me a happy solstice. My best, a couple of my best friends. Sometimes I'll get on and chat with Spin Pixie, but for the most part, they don't celebrate solstice. So not for they're not witches or anything. It's nothing like that. It's just not something they do. Um, so what I tend to do is I will celebrate Christmas with my family and non-pagan friends. I celebrate it as a holiday for family. I celebrate it as kind of like a thankfulness day, almost like a Thanksgiving type thing. Just to be together with the people that I care about, um, and not so much their kind of like religious aspect of it. So we'll give gifts, and if I'm around like my family or people like that, then we'll eat and drink and be merry. So it's kind of fun. Um, and then my other thing was for example, spell work. So a lot of people people have different things about this. Some people say, "Oh, you should never cast a spell on a Sabbath. It's just for honoring that day." I've really never thought of it like that. I do honor the day, obviously, but what I like to do, I'll sometimes I will do a working for something that I want to bring into my life at that given time. And during my Yule ritual is when I will do that. I will honor the day, honor, any deities associated with the day, and then do the spell or working that I want to do, and ask that whatever it is comes into my life. To me, there's nothing wrong with that. You are, it's almost kind of like giving and receiving gifts at Christmas. So you're giving people gifts and you're getting gifts in return. You're celebrating the day, giving thanks for the day, honoring the day, and you're doing something for yourself, in return. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. So those are my personal beliefs and how I feel about Yule and the season and whatnot. So let's go ahead and move on to some correspondences, shall we? So some good gemstones that are correspondent with Yule are cat's eye, ruby, diamond, garnet, and bloodstone. Very shiny, light catching gemstones. Some incenses and oils, herbs, things like that that are good to use during Yule would be bayberry, cedar, ginger, cinnamon, pine, rosemary, frankincense, myrrh, nutmeg, wintergreen, and saffron. Very spicy herbs and scents. Fiery, bringing in that light half of the year energy, bringing in, the fire that's going to come up. Colors that are associated with Yule would be gold, silver, red, green, and white. Red, obviously, fire, sun. Green for the nature that is going to be abundant in the coming year, and of course shiny red or golden silver. Some symbols that are very prominent during Yule: mistletoe and holly, poinsettias, the Yule log, which I know has been spoken about this week already, the Yule tree, spinning wheels, my personal favorite, wreaths, bells, so those are some kind of good symbols. Let's see here. Some goddesses that are associated with Yule. Isis, Hertha, Frey, some gods, Saturn, Kronos, and so forth and so on. So, you can always take, and even if you can't really do any kind of a Yule ritual for whatever reason, you can always take and have a potpourri simmering on your stove of like cinnamon and things that remind you of the season. Decorate, if your family's making sugar cookies, hey, decorate those Yule tree cookies. Your family calls them Christmas, you call them Yule. It's all good. So, just a couple of little ideas there. And, from Planet Pathlings and from myself, I do wish you a very, very Merry Yule. If you do celebrate, I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy, happy New Year. Blessed be everybody. Have a good one.